Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a bonus new moon for the month of March tarot oracle reading. And Taurus, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Taurus, we still all have a little bit of Taurus in us. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Taurus in, that's where this is for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. This reading is timely, meaning that if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That might give you some more information about your situation now. All right, Taurus, let's go here. We're going to start with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. Oh my goodness, what a start, Taurus. Don't panic. This card has been coming up. Well, it came up in the, you're only the second reading for this, but this card has been coming up pretty consistently lately because of all the energy that's out there in the world right now. There's a lot of this energy coming to light. So the devil is about temptation. There's two lovers here. They're yoked to each other, and then they're chained to Saturn's box. And he's hunched over this box in this position, coming kind of in between them. And this is talking about his basic instincts. And this is saying this isn't really love, this is lust. And, you know, the devil is representing the energy of temptation. And, you know, temptation for all sorts of things. But when the devil is going to tempt you with something, he's not going to say, hey, I've got something really ugly, and it's really going to turn out shifty in the end. Do you want to sign up and, you know, sell your soul to me? And no, he's going to show you something really shiny and something bright that you really want. And so when the devil comes up, you know you will not get the truth from the devil. The devil's energy is very manipulative. So I always cover the devil with the next card up to see what minion does he send in to do his dirty work for him. And also, okay, Stella, my cat's here, sorry. He also, he always sends a minion in to do his dirty work for him. And so I always check to see who is that, or what is it about, you know, does God stop it? What's going on here? Let's see, Taurus. We have some heartbreak here. Yeah, the devil and the heartbreak go together really well. I feel like this is an energy. When this card comes up, it talks about forgiveness being needed, being able to forgive yourself and forgive others, or not being able to, I guess, in this case. And this is talking about the Three of Swords. The swords represent your, they represent your thoughts and your mind, you know, your mental intelligence and your ability to discipline your mind. And this energy, I feel like my first instinct that I have from this is, in matters of love, this quite often can mean that there's a third party that's wedged between these two, a couple, basically. And so this could be that someone has come into, if you are someone who's in a couple, someone has come in to drive the two of you apart and sent by the devil. The other energy could be like, if you know, it's your business you love or something, you know, other than, you know, romantic love, then the devil has sent someone or something in to, you know, to make a wedge between that happening as well. So let's see. That's the underlying energy of this reading, temptation. Now we've got the underlying energy for the internal forces is the moon. So that's what this reading's about. It's about the new moon coming up. We've had quite a bit of moon energy because we had 2 eclipses. And those eclipses have had a profound effect on a lot of people. If you want to know more about the eclipses, on the same playlist here, I have both eclipses, the one from the 17th of February and the one from the 3rd of March. I'm going to focus more moving forward now, but it might give you a lot of insight. We're still, after an eclipse season like that, we do have, it generally lingers for about 6 months, and it's kind of like a slow energy percolating on the back burner that really causes people to make really big changes in their life. And so the moon energy is talking about hidden secrets, illusions. This is like if you are, the fool begins on his path from the 0 point in the major arcana. And this is talking about while he's on his journey, this lobster is representing an energy of coming out of the universal water here, all the choices that you have, and deciding I'm going to stay on my path no matter what. Even if the devil's tempting me to get off my path, I'm staying on it. And if in matters of love, if I need to forgive myself and forgive this person, I don't have to ever even tell them I forgive them. I can just do that so that I can stay on the path of love and be okay with making myself vulnerable to be able to have love again. And this is talking about this domestic dog and this wolf, coyote, whichever it is they're both howling at the moon. And he's got to figure out, this lobster's got to be brave enough to go past them and be vulnerable in staying on his path, staying in between these two pillars so that he doesn't, go sideways basically and not make it through. Now, this also represents the sun, the full moon, and the new moon. And so this is talking about this eclipse energy. So the eclipse energy was basically just because I feel like it's coming up in this reading already here. On January 17th, when we had the eclipse in Aquarius, that was about, are you going to look after your needs and make sure that you're strong enough to stay strong and not give in to temptation, be healthy and strong enough to fight that? Or are you going to look after the group when you don't, like that group energy? And that was the back and forth between Aquarius moon and the Leo energy opposing it. In this, the sun was in Leo energy. So this energy on the 3rd of March, then we had the moon was in Virgo, and Virgo energy wants us to get things in order, and cleanliness is next to godliness, that kind of energy. And so that Virgo energy wanted us to clean up our domestic life so that it was really, everything's in order and it's easy to find things, and it's like the paperwork is all done, so you have a really good system set up so that, if you things run smoothly, like you can find things when you need them, etc. And then that supports your business life. And so this was the energy for the Virgo moon. So this is, and at the same time now, we also do have Mercury in retrograde, which is the communication. Mercury is all about communication and also about the past. So we'll see if that comes up in this reading. We're going to keep going here. I just wanted to kind of give you a bit of a rundown. So, and look at, this is interesting because the World card is coming up first. So this is saying that there's an end of a cycle when this energy was happening. And you're moving into a new cycle now. This one is over and this one is beginning. So that makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of energy right now moving astrologically. But basically it's saying whatever happened here, and I feel the story will be told out here, but the World card means that you've achieved some sort of a goal here. And that, the cycle, that everything you could have learned or accomplished from this cycle is done. So it's time to start a new cycle. And then we have, okay, yes, it's required a lot of strength and courage from you to get through this. I can imagine, I can feel the energy. This young woman is reaching into this lion's mouth. And, it's a very dangerous thing to do. It's a mature male lion, but he has his tail tucked under in a submissive position because he can feel that she doesn't have fear doing this. She's proving to herself that she can face her fear. And so that's why she's doing it. And she does it regularly to prove to herself, hey, I know I can. And she wants to face all her fears and overcome them so that she can be in her infinite potential here. And so this is talking about having strength and integrity and courage to face your fears. And then we have the Queen of Wands coming in. And the Queen of Wands has been showing up a lot lately too. And so this is like an energy. The Queen of Wands is considered the most sexy of the queens. She would be, you know, she has a natural beauty and a sunny disposition, which is represented by the sunflower here. Sunflowers follow the sun, and the sun represents God. And then we also have the veil here in the back behind her, which is about the intuition and logic, and also spiritual realm and the physical. So she is known for being able to come up with creative solutions for any problem. And that's because she uses both her logic and her intuition, so that she can have, you know, the intuition allows her to come to creative solutions that that can then implement in a logical way in the 3D world. And then her element is the element of fire, and it's represented by this wand. The wand is made of wood. Wood feeds fire. And also the wand is from a tree, and trees have very deep roots representing the ancestors, and offshoots, branches, which represents the descendants. Plus she has a little cat like me here on my lap. And she's purring away. So I just want to point out that a cat's purr raises the vibration at a very high level too. So the frequency is really healing and raises the vibration, which, you know, a lot of times she refuses to sit here when the devil's card is out. The last reading, she would not sit through it. So she's doing a really good job. You might not be able to hear her because I have a noise canceling mic on. I have a lot of construction going on outside here. So hopefully you know, there's not too much background noise for you. Okay, so she doesn't care about having a black cat. She's not worried about superstition. Whereas some people they wouldn't have a black cat because they worry about things like that. This is saying that you have a strong foundation in the pentacles to be able to get what you want done. But it's also saying that maybe you're playing small, you know, selling yourself a little bit short here. And this is the energy of this figure has their back to the city. So this is talking about you might need to leave your comfort zone to be able to reach your goals. So that could be, you know, the city can represent the place where you live, and moving into a different, maybe a bigger, you know, location with more clients or something like that. It could be something like that. But it also can represent the energy of leaving your comfort zone just in what career you're in if you're not enjoying it. You know, the pentacles, yes, they are about money, but it also, you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want to live. And so it's about lifestyle as well. This card, though, in particular, is about the three levels of making money. You have safe money here. This is a money that allows you a strong foundation. You can pay your bills and, you know, your mortgage payment, et cetera, but you don't have a whole lot to play with. And so, like, you don't, this is saying you've been playing it safe to, you know, to avoid risk. But there's some times where you need to get to the next level of making money, you have to take some risks. And the best investment would be in yourself, like to educate yourself or that kind of energy. And that might be what you're considering doing here. So this is safe money. This is your heart's desires. And then this here is your crown and glory. So the crown and glory is when you're on God's path. And that usually comes pretty easy to you once you've reached that point. All right. And now we have the Page of Wands coming in. So the Page of Wands is representing an energy of youthful exuberance, someone who's really enthusiastic. And the pages, they would work for the king and queen, and they would deliver messages within the palace walls. They would start really young, around 7 to 14 years of age, and then work their way up through, you know, like they would start off with small tasks, but then their main task would be to deliver communication between people in the palace walls. And when they grew up, if they were, you know, really someone who was their work was desirable and they were accomplished, then they might be considered for knighthood. But they'd have to have enough money to buy a horse and be 21 years old. And so this is the energy of someone under 21. He's got a feather in his cap. He's, as I said, very enthusiastic. When in the old days, of course, they would deliver the messages in the court and it would be in person. But these days, this could represent a phone call, an email, a text message. It could represent going on social media and there's a message there for you, or you see an event on social media and you go and you attend it. And when you attend it, there's someone there that you meet and it's like, oh, this is exactly the person I wanted to meet. And then there could be the energy also of watching the news. Whatever's happening on the news at the top is definitely affecting your life and everybody's life, like as above, so below kind of energy. And the one thing about the Page of Wands to remember is that sometimes, like if you notice, he's really admiring his wand. And this is representing passion. So think of a young man, under the age of 20, basically, who is thinking of his wand. And this is talking about him. He has a tendency to think with his little head instead of his big head. His mind is on one thing. And so you have to recognize that when he sometimes isn't paying that much attention to what's going on around him. And then we have the energy of the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is talking about being in a position where, this is generational wealth. This is like, there's only 10 pentacles in the tarot. And so this is 9. This is a lot of money. It's a lot of lifestyle. This is talking, though, about the pre-Empress energy. So the Empress energy in tarot is in the major arcana, and she has the qualities of all 4 queens from the minor arcana rolled into one person. And so this is talking about someone who is really good at manifesting. And if you've ever heard of Nikola Tesla, this card always reminds me of Nikola Tesla. He's a genius. And he would say, hey, if you knew the beauty of the 369, you would have the key to the universe. And I feel like that's a ratio. And that's kind of what this card is saying. To be able to be successful regarding your money and your lifestyle, you have to know how much are you going to invest in someone or something, and who are you going to do that with, and what do you anticipate your return is going to be on that investment. So it's about the give and take in life and learning discernment, especially when it comes to business, and how much energy you're pouring into other people and into which projects, that kind of energy. And so, she always has her hand on the 6 pentacles here, because this is what she knows. This is what I need to run my house, to run my businesses, to be able to make sure I have a little extra money on the side, but to make all my payments and have everything running smoothly. And then these 3, one might maybe be for more risky investments, and this one would be for charity, and the next one here might just be a fund that she keeps open, or money that she has set aside for emergencies for family members, or even if something happens where she needs a little extra emergency money. And so this card is talking about really being at the pre-Empress energy and really being able to manifest at a very high level because of the discipline of that. And this, how I was talking about with the new moon and full moon eclipse, the full moon that was on March 3rd, that one was in Virgo. And this very much is talking about that energy. Virgo is, the element that represents Virgo is the pentacle. And the Virgo energies, there's Taurus, then there's the Virgo, and then there's the energy of Capricorn. So This energy is talking, Virgo is the energy where the moon wants you to get your domestic life in order to support your business and vice versa. And this is all, this is that energy. So it's about decluttering and making things, this card is basically saying you are the sum of your environment. You need to be grateful and appreciate what you have by looking after it and putting things in place and that kind of energy. So starting out here, we have identity and your self-image. So you feel like you're done one cycle and you're ready to move on to something new. You want new in your life. There's a lot of new happening on the planet right now. So there's abundance and self-worth. So you recognize that you have some fears around that, but you are willing to work on it, and you have been working on it, which is put you in a pretty good place, I'd say, for being able to manifest at this level. And then we have your communication in early life. So I feel like, I don't know, I'm getting kind of an energy of being raised by hippies, that kind of energy, like flower children. From, I don't know, that's just the kind of energy I'm getting. And then we have your emotional foundation. So in a way, like what's coming up is maybe your mother was like a hippie and your father was like more on the straight and narrow, more conservative. We have creativity, romance, and children. And so this is talking, having passion for that. And it could be, that when it comes to matters of love, maybe you got hurt really badly and you just haven't gone back to love, and you've been kind of afraid to because of what happened. And this is saying, no, it's time. You've healed. You deserve to have that in your life. And then we have the Nine of Cups coming in here. So the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Cups is talking about, there's only 10 cups, and this is about love. And so this is about loving your partner, loving your children, loving your where you live, loving your career, that kind of energy. Just a lot of love. And then there's the energy here of, and this card is about wishing. So this is what you're wishing for. So you have to remember, when you're wishing for something, it means you don't have it. So if, you have to put your energy into it. And this card is saying stay focused so that you can get what you wish for. You have to put your energy into it. Many a race is lost in the last lap. This person appears to be on a stage. So it could be that you're a public figure, or your partner is a public figure, or, something to do with being a public figure. It could be something to do with work. And then we have the energy here. Are these cups like right above his head, or are they behind him from the past, or are they in forward of, in front of him here? We can't really tell. And so in this card, it's like, this is again saying that this is your marriage, commitment, and partnerships. So this card is saying, that you do wish for that. And what if it's not a romantic partner, it might be, oh, I wish I had a partner. I wish I had someone that would invest in my business equally with me, so that we could really, be so beneficial. Then we have this makes total sense. So this is saying that this cycle is over and a new one's beginning. And this is where we're talking. I get it. Okay, so this energy is talking about this old cycle here. And now we have the external force here is the Fool starting off on his new journey here. And so this is what's going to happen now, and what external forces are you going to face? So when you're facing internal forces, it's talking about, the what ifs. And when what if this happens, and if I do that, what if they do this? And, you can get into that loop of energy. It's having the courage also to be able to, take action on what you come up with, instead of like just sitting there. So this is talking about, if there's an opportunity coming up, sometimes you have to like put yourself out there, and you have to be like, okay, I'm going to give this a go. So this is talking about your commitments, partnerships, and relationships. And the external force, the Fool, is on his journey now. And this is a new journey from this one. Away from the away from the devil energy. We hope. Okay, but that's the problem. When you get tied up with this dude, you end up sometimes having heavy burdens to carry that aren't yours. They weren't yours, but they're yours now because of this energy. So I feel like this is more your partner, someone, and I feel like you thought they maybe were someone that oh, this is the perfect partner for me. I love them so much, and they love me, and we're going to have children together, and we're going to buy a house, but none of it happened. It's kind of like it was empty words, basically, is what I'm getting. And so this is talking about, it's caused you, and plus you've accumulated a lot of burdens because of that, of your well, I don't know if it's your ex-partner, but because of their energy. And so this is talking about, this person is trying to bring these wands home. Now the wands do represent actions that you've taken and that other people have taken, and maybe you've taken on. So this represents the energy, like you plant the seeds, and some of these are like harvests, so they might be heavy with fruit, and some of them might be burdens caused by other people, and they are actually their burdens, but you've been carrying them for them. And that's what happens if you're with someone, you're living with someone, and you're married to them, you're going to end up dealing with their shift on a day-to-day basis. So this is talking about, again, this card is talking about the same energy as here. Don't quit now. You're almost home. He can't see the way, if you've ever heard the saying, you can't see the forest because of the trees. So caught up in the details that you can't see the big picture. And remember how important it is to see the big picture. So, I feel like it had to do with your daily routine and habits, or your partner's daily routine and habits. Let's see. So this is about transition. So this is saying this energy is changing for you. I think the only way it's going to change, though, is if you let go of that energy over there. And we have some information coming in from that about these burdens, I feel, and it's coming towards you. So this energy is the Knight of Swords, and the knights would be, working for the king and queen, as we said, and they might have started off as a page and now have worked their way up and been knighted. And their job is to deliver messages far and wide to other kingdoms, and then bring the messages back from the other kingdoms. And they are the messages we already talked about, like they don't necessarily have to be in person or come running in with a horse, probably not these days. But this is the energy on January 17th. On that new moon in Aquarius, we also had Chinese New Year, and we moved from the year of the snake into the year of the fiery horse energy. And so the fiery horse energy is very free-spirited, and it makes you set really high goals to achieve, but at the same time, it can be very impulsive. And in matters of love, it's passionate and heartfelt. But you see this red flag on his back of his helmet here? It's saying, this sometimes can represent a fool rushing in. We can only see half his sword here, so he only has half the information that's needed. We can't see the point of his sword, so he might not even know the point of what it is of the information he's delivering. And his horse is totally stressed out, and he's driving this horse really fast through barren land against the wind. And this energy is exactly how you don't want to be this year. You do not want to be in impulsive energy with half the information and rushing in to deliver it against the wind through barren land. It's just this, the fire horse energy is really strong energy for achievement in that. But if you set your goals too high and you don't give yourself enough time, you can end up being very burnt out and not passing the finish line. And the other thing is it's very impulsive energy, and so you can make mistakes by like hooking up with the devil here and ending up like really, getting so far off your path. It's really hard to get back on it again. And so this information is coming in, and this is about your higher learning. So I feel you're going to be learning the information about what happened here with this energy, with the devil here. And this is the wounded warrior energy. And I feel like, you see this here? Like when you put your burdens down that aren't yours, and just pick up the few that are left, because I'm getting this energy caused a lot of burdens. This is the energy they're going to be in instead of you. If you don't put these burdens down and you stick with this energy, this is going to be you. This is talking about like these, you landed 8 of the wands here, but like, man, it was a battle. And, you have a headache. And so if you continue with this energy, that's how you're going to end up. Or like, and if your partner continues with this energy and you're living with them, that's how you're going to end up. You need to be able to put the burdens down, because the information is coming in to you right now. This is talking about the information coming in of what happened. And if you still stick with this for a 9th round, like for another wand here, you're going to really be in this energy. You're going to be a victim of this energy. Well, like not a participant of this energy of the, being too impulsive. This can represent having a hot temper, getting in fights with people, that kind of energy. Judgment's being called. This is by God. And you notice here, the ancestors are coming out of their boxes and they're cheering, yay, because they're watching. Maybe some of your ancestors that have crossed the veil are watching this play out here, and they're like, oh no, let her, like they're just totally, what, like all this money that we worked hard to pass down to you, and this person, this who you choose to be with, they're not liking it too much. And the descendants on the other side, if you don't have children yet, like they're saying, hey, what are you doing? You're giving my inheritance away, that kind of energy. This can talk about skeletons coming out of the closet and unfinished business from your parents and grandparents kind of energy. Or, from your partner's, parents and grandparents. And then there's the descendants waving to them on the other side. So judgment's been called. And so whatever this is about it's going to come to light. It's going to be exposed, and it's going to be dealt with. Karma is going to be distributed. And the best thing you could do if you're in this dark night of the soul energy, when this hits, is go sometimes, like the hermit represents when you have a dark night of the soul, which is like when you find out some real shifty shift, and your worst fears about what your partner was up to are being realized, and you realize, oh my God, like this is, I'm having a hard time handling this. The hermit goes up to the mountain, to the top, and he isolates himself so that no one bothers him. And then he goes inward and he meditates and he prays and he asks God for assistance. Please tell me what to do. And then when his lantern is full of the light of the North Star, which represents your energy of moving, of being on your path, that energy then lights up the rod here, and he knows it's time to come down from the mountain and implement and take action on that. That's what needs to be done. And so this is talking about blessings coming in. So this judgment is going to be a major blessing for you. It may be challenging because the truth is going to come out, but you're going to be on a new journey. And this is the only way that, you have to put those burdens down, though, that aren't yours. Because if karma is being distributed here, you're going to get, if you're still holding on to those burdens, you're the one who's going to get hit with that energy. And so, this is talking about, I kind of have a feeling a lot of these readings are going to be about this energy because of what's going on in the world. Just with, like, you have to stay on your divine path. Like, it sometimes seems easier to be tempted, and it's tempting to do things, cheat a little here and there, do that, you know, what's one time gonna hurt? But it can hurt a lot. And it's the devil's promises don't come true, but God's do, and it may take longer because it's actually how long it takes. You know, if you're doing it the legal way. And so, yeah, if you've enjoyed this up to this point and you're like, okay, I'm good, I feel like I understand what's happening here. Thank you for your energy, and do please give it a like and comment if you did get value out of this. Also, consider subscribing. You're more than welcome to my channel. And I'm going to clarify for you if you want more clarification now. And so I'm using my Oracle, Tales from the Vector. I started this in 2007. And in 2020, I completed all 64 paintings. It's from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. It's called Tales from the Vector, Tails. I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com, and on that website I have a gallery of the paintings. The numbers on these cards represent the paintings as they're listed in the gallery. So I will put in the description box below the order that they come here, the number. So if you want to go check it out and look it up, you can. It has more information there that might be beneficial to you. And this is interesting. This card is like the death card, and it's Friday the 13th today. So this is like transition. And so put those burdens down. Put this energy down. You get like, this needs to go. You don't want to be in that energy. You get out of it. And then this is talking about the Leo energy coming in. So Leo energy is talking about this energy here of a young guy, you know, under the age of 20, who is thinking of his little wand, or his, I'm not going to say that, of his wand. And he's thinking with his little head instead of his big head. So you have to recognize sometimes this energy can be very boastful and like, oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm a real man. I'm the man. It's because the Leo energy is very much like a leadership energy, but it's a bit of an illusion because they haven't matured into that yet. So this is talking about having a very immature person in your life that can't stop himself when it comes to temptation. And he's a lot of talk and not as much action kind of energy. And so I just want to point out that when the horoscope signs come in on my general collective readings here, I'm not saying a Leo did it, or, you know, that Leo did this, or whatever the sign is. What I'm looking at is each of the signs, that if they come in, about that's the state of being of that sign, and what can we learn from it. Every one of the signs has its strengths and weaknesses, and also sometimes there's a stage of life, and it's not being that age, but it's about being in that energy. You could be 80 and be in this energy, you know. So it's talking about that feeling really. This though is talking about the third party energy. And then we have here the trauma queen. So this is one of the, you know, we have our usual suspects that prevent us from enjoying our relationships. And then we have the major accomplices that are also there. So the trauma queen energy is talking about someone, possibly they had a rough childhood and they're used to having a lot of drama and trauma around them. And it's really a weird thing, but the subconscious mind sometimes is like, they feel really uncomfortable if things are calm. And so this can be, you know, the choices are they either want to fight, or they're the kind of person that runs, you know, doesn't, okay, I'm not speaking to you kind of energy, ghosts you for a while and then comes back. Or they can just freeze and just be like stuck there forever in this immature energy. Not willing to really put the work in. And then we have the guiding light. So this is about having the courage to face your fears so that you can get on your path. And there it is, the North Star in there, in the guiding light. My courage card, my integrity card, is the pyramids, actually. It's kind of an interesting energy. And then we have the judgment coming in, and this is talking about judgment from the Most High. And this is like cosmic judgment. And this is talking about the same thing. This is saying like things need to be put back into order here. This is talking about the cosmic heart and being unfettered. Like once the truth comes out and you find out, and then you can get things back in order and you can get back on your path and get on a new cycle where you're not in this energy anymore and you're in God's energy. And then we have, yes, the sun coming in and saying you have a strong foundation here. Move into your heart's desires so that you can reach your crowning glory. We have the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is representing traditional structure. And it's again on this energy here. Not to pick on you, dude, but you're a little immature here. And so this is talking about, having the Hierophant comes in and he brings down the judgment, the justice from the God's judgment. And so this is from the spiritual realm, and it goes down into the physical. And we're talking about traditional structure like courts of law or whatever. And hopefully there isn't that. I don't see a lot of energy that there was illegalities. Just see a lot of immaturity, giving into temptation. Yeah, we have deception here in the daily. You know what? When I said you want to clean up your daily life, your habits, it's like deception. Kiss me good. There's a hex in the city. So this is talking about definitely this third-party energy that your partner was stepping out, or you were on your partner, one or the other. And then we have the Emperor, but I'm reading for you, and I'm getting like this energy is coming from your partner. We have the Emperor here. So this is talking about, the Emperor is all about performance. And this is talking about you getting on the path. If you let go of this energy, and this could be this, and you could be this energy. And I mean, if that's what it is, that's what it is. But this is saying wanting to get back on the path. Then, once you do that, you can be at a very high performance level and step into this leadership role that you want. Now, if this is your partner, I'm still like, especially with retrograde, be very careful about going back to the past right now, because it's way stronger to go into the new. And so it's kind of like you can forgive someone, but it doesn't mean when you forgive someone that you want to reconcile with them. So, it's not that kind of energy. I'm not telling you what to do, because it's up to you what to do. I'm just saying there's a lot of immature energy, and this definitely has happened, and it's caused you a lot of burdens. And if there's, I'm just picking up like not being that careful with protection and that kind of energy. It's like, living dangerously. We have the third eye energy here, insightful. And so this is talking about the cups, the wish is coming true. And that means, you have to use your intuition as well as your logic to be able and stay on your path to be able to accomplish, getting this wish come true. We have the Hangman. This is talking about the Hangman hangs from the tree of knowledge, upside down, and he does that so that he can get it's similar to the Hermit energy. It's like to get a different perception on what's going on. So when you hang upside down, then that happens. And it's also talking about his aura lights up, and that's when he knows he can come down from the tree and then take action. We have this information coming in is about the Lover's energy. So this could be someone you split up with too. And now it's retrograde, and they're hearing, hey, I hear she's coming into, and someone else is interested in her, and there's all of a sudden she has all this money. I better get back in there. Like maybe in the past you've taken this person back. And they're thinking, oh, well, she'll take me back. And they're shocked that you haven't already, that you're not sitting on the phone crying, please take me, come back. It's like, no, thank you. The Virgo energy, again, we're talking about that energy from that moon. Being like, are you going to look after your own needs so that you can be a leader, or are you going to look after everybody else and not put the burdens down? And so, and this is again talking about that Mercury and communication, right? And so the energy is to, that what you want to do is with in the retrograde energy, recognize that the communication coming in may not be complete like this. But what I was going to also point out is that Venus moved into the sign of Aries on March 6th. And this energy makes a person, like instead of, it was in Pisces before that. And that Pisces energy is very, it's kind of an energy of more dreamy and idealistic. And the Aries, being in the Aries energy, it's more about, yeah, bang. We're going to be more assertive in our love life. And that's what the new moon is in. The new moon is in the sign of Pisces. But it's being opposed by the Aries energy. So if you're thinking about taking this person back, it's kind of like, are you going to be dreamy about it, or are you going to be assertive in your love life and do what what's happening? And if there's a lot of confusion about that because of the Mercury being in retrograde until the 20th, on the 23rd, the energy is moving, Mercury is moving into Aries with the North Node for a while there. And so that energy, it's just for a short period, but that is when you might get really clear communication. So just being aware of the energy may empower you a bit here. We have the moon. And so the moon is talking, in my deck, it's talking reckless abandon, as in WRECK. As long as you discipline your mind, you have the freedom then to be able to move forward, and you're using your intuition as well as your logic. So you're able to see the pitfalls. And then justice is coming in. So this is, right in your spiritual position. So this is talking about the cycle ending. It's interesting because the cycle's ending right when we begin the reading, but this is talking about the past. And then the new cycle is coming in, and this is talking about what's coming up right now into this new moon that's on the 18th of March. Then we will be having a full moon, and that one is going to be in the sign of Aries. And, the Libra energy, which is a mature adult, will be opposing that. So that might be an interesting time for you as well, Taurus. But this is a good reading. And then look at the bottom. We have the world again here. So, this is, there's a lot of opportunity here for you. You've got to keep your shift together or get your shift together and then be able to keep it there. All right. I do hope you have enjoyed this. Please do like and comment if you have. I really appreciate it. It helps me build my channel. And also consider subscribing if you resonate. I would be honored if you did so. I will be back. The next reading will be for the end of the month, and then I will do, the full moon is coming in on April 1st. So you've got time to get your shift together. All right. Bye for now, Taurus.